But first we came up with a vision. And people think of vision statements as, a brief sentence platitude. We had one of those, but actually we wrote a vision. I actually took pen in hand and wrote it, but it was based on all of this input. And it was a page long. And it was written as if you and I were going to be walking through our schools 10 years from the day that you were reading that vision. What we would see, what we'd feel, what it would be like to be a student, to be a parent, to be a community member. And it ended with, this is our vision. We could have taped it for you, but it doesn't exist yet. But wouldn't you like to come along? And so that was the inspiration for doing an incredibly complex but inclusive process. So based on that vision, we created in the same kinds of ways I'm describing the goals, the values. And then it was also obvious that we should have to put in place the proper people, procedures, processes, structures to make that happen. You can have a lofty vision, but if you don't have those things to make it happen, it's not going to happen. So as the old saying goes, we made sure that we put the right people on the bus and talked with people who could be perhaps in different seats on the bus, or perhaps really wanted to be on a different bus. We did things with the school structure of the day so that there was common planning time from elementary through high school. We structured high school forces such as teachers had time every day to meet together as a team, as well as there was not a homeroom, but a small group where every adult in the high school had a chance every day to have a small group meeting with students, individually and or in small group, just to talk about how that student was doing. So that's just one example. So those are some of the policies and procedures. We did an entire restructuring of the curriculum, of assessment, ongoing evaluation. We had site-based management. And on the site-based management teams, there were the principal, teachers, parents, non-parents, community members, as was true in all of these structures. And there were district-wide oversight groups to assure and to measure that all of these things were happening and to be able to bump problems up the line. Because, the buck really does stop with the superintendent. And of course the board, but the superintendent is that conduit between the managerial structure of the board and the day-to-day structure of what your principals, your teachers, your staff, and your community members are doing.